Hi, my name is Nevo. I want to show you today a cool library over GitHub. It's Notification Management Simplified. It's a very nice library to send SMSs, emails, direct Facebook messages, Discord, whatever you want, in almost every channel, using different providers. Just if you go over here to the library, you can see the providers that they currently have. They are looking for contributors and they would want to make even more providers for you, but right now they have all of these and it's very and super easy to use. So let's go ahead and do a quick start on how to use Notifier. We can see the simple code here, which is basically almost everything. I have created two projects here, one for my backend, one for my client. The client is a very simple React app. The backend is a very simple Express app. So let's go ahead and try to send at least email and maybe also use Twilio to send SMSs. So I've already created here my Express app. It's a very simple app. If you go to the root, this is where we'll do all the logic. Let's go ahead here and start using it. As you can see, there's a very simple code here on their GitHub on how to use it with SendGrid. Let's just go ahead and install the same library as they installed. Let's go to Notifier core and Notifier SendGrid. The code is very, very simple, so we'll just copy most of the stuff from here. So the first thing you will want to do is actually to create a new Notifier instance. You can make it global or you can make it local, depends if you need to change providers or not. But in case you don't want to change any provider, it can be global. I'll just edit here, and here you can register your provider. So I can go here and do a register provider. Let's copy the SendGrid import from here and put it here. Now, as you can see, I'm using SendGrid, but if we go over to Notifier, and we go over to their library, we go here into providers. So they have a bunch of providers you can already use out of the box. They all using the same interface, so it's very easy to change between them. You have email, many email ones. We have Twilio for SMSs. You have SES, Sendinblue, amazing. So I'll just go ahead and use SendGrid. So as you can see, you just need to register the SendGrid provider. It's registering here the SendGrid provider. You put your from and your API key. Let's do a quick registration to SendGrid. Let's call it a test and create a new one. Once I finished, I got this key. Let's just copy it and paste it here over the SendGrid key. As you can see in the code sample, they are using our environment variable. You don't have to do it. Let's just edit here, put the mail I want to send it from, and that's it. Once we've done that, we can register our template that we want to use with SendGrid. I'll just copy the code from here, from their current template. Let's just use it here, just paste it. So what we've got here, we put the ID, any ID that we want. Let's just call it a test. Subject, let's say, hello, how are you? So as you can see here, we are registering a new template. It's using handlebars. You don't have to use it, basically. If you want, it's here. You see it inside the template, and you can go to handlebarsjs.com and see how to work with the variable and pass it and so on. However, they also provide you with a way to use it with using a function. So what you can basically do is just pass your own function here. Okay, I just passed it as a template like this. We got this payload here that we can use, and we can just do here like that and do a payload dot and the parameter that we want to pass. For example, we can go for phone. You can pass your own keys. So basically you can see that you can pass here. You have some of the defined parameters, but you can also create your own parameters such as first name. And when you call the trigger function later, you can use the template to call it. However, I would like to use right now for the demonstration just the handlebar option. So let's just go back, remove this function, and use the handlebar. So hi first name, we don't need to reset the password. Let's not put here the if. How are you? And let's pass here just the body. That's also nice. Okay. So once we've done that, that's it. We've just created a new template. We don't have to put it as a variable. We can just put it here, and we can add some other templates if you want. So we can do this one using the ID test, and it's an email channel. The email channel that we created is SendGrid, so you can see it here, and all you need to do right now is go here, write notifier.trigger, and in the event ID you can pass the test and the data that you want to use. So for example, I can pass the first name, which is for example my name, but we will later use React and send the parameter from the client, and the body is just test. Now we want to add additional parameters that are required in order to use the trigger. One of them is the email. You have to use it, obviously. So right now I'll put my email, but later we will create it dynamically with React. Let's put here a small await function and make this async, and in the end return res JSON and okay, true. Okay, that's it. That's very simple. Now once we've done that, let's go ahead and create our Twilio. So I've just entered Twilio, just registered to my trial account here. We can just buy a new Twilio number here. Let's see. US phone numbers are mostly cheap. We want the one with the SMS also. I just put a US filter. Let's just buy one. Okay, perfect. We have our US number. Let's go and find our API key, probably in our account. Perfect. So I'm just here in my account. I just click on create an API key. Let's just call it test. And let's go ahead and install our Twilio provider. So I'll just go over here and write npm install Notifier Twilio. Just save it. I can just go ahead here, change this to Twilio. And take the Twilio SMS provider. We can just copy this, paste it here, and register another provider. We'll use the Twilio SMS provider. As you can see here, we have different things that we need. So it's the account SID. We'll just go over back to Twilio, copy the SID, paste it here, and then we'll use the auth token. We'll copy it from here, and we'll just paste it. These one are not relevant anymore. And we have our two provider registered. Now we'll register another template. So we'll just go over here to Notifier, register template. So this one is a phone template, an SMS, sorry. and it's using the ID test2. We'll just keep on the same subject and template at the moment. If you really want, you can create some loop here that will register the both of them. Once we are finished, we can now go ahead and create another trigger here for us. So since we want to use almost the exact params, we can just save it in variables. So like that. Just change the params over here, and we can create another trigger. This time we'll call test2, and we'll pass here the same thing. Just instead of the email, let's pass the phone number that we want to send to. Let's put just, you saw it was very fast. I'm just on less than 10 minutes of recording already, so that was pretty fast. Register both of the templates, and that's it. It's ready. Now let's go ahead and work on our client. So I just had to do a simple modification to the code. We are usually using JavaScript, but this is JavaScript and not TypeScript. I've just changed the express into import. I added into the package.json the module, type module, and also I haven't started a server, so let's do just app.listen and put here 3001. Okay, I'm in my React app. I would like to send the HTTP request with Axios, but you can basically use any type of HTTP provider that you want. You can even use the fetch or the native one. Let me just install it really quickly. So we got the default React app here. Let's just do a quick change. I'll just remove everything from here and create a simple button. Let's do a very quick small button here. Call it trigger, and just do the trigger here. And what we want to do here is just call our server with some parameters that we can pass. So let's open here to inputs. Let's call the first one name, and another one email or phone. Email, and the other one is phone. Now let's create another function here, and we'll just call it the field name over here, and just do on change, and here we can just use the trigger and pass here the name, and right here we have the event. So what we can do is let's create 3 states. So we have the name, and we have the email, and we have the phone number. And what we want to do here is just to set the state of the current one in order to use. So we can just do a switch for the field name, and if it's name, we can just do set name and pass here the event target value. If it's an email, and if it's a phone, so perfect. We'll just take this on change, and sorry, this is on change. Sorry for the confusion. Put here the on change, and of course we want the value. This one is name, this one is email, and this one is phone. Perfect. And of course we'll change here the names. Okay, so basically everything is set. We just need to trigger it. So on click, and we'll just run the trigger. Copy here, put the trigger. And as I said before, I want to use Axios, but feel free to use anything that you want. So let's just do here, import Axios from Axios. And I haven't specified any method, so you can use whatever you want. I haven't used the JSON parser in my Express, so I prefer to use just a simple GET request, even though a POST request would be better. But just for our demonstration, I'll just do a GET, and I will send here my information. So we are triggering localhost 2002. And let's pass a few parameters. So we have our name, pass just the name, and we have our email. Let's pass the email, and we have our phone, and we can put it as an async function. Put here a small await and just alert success. Okay, so let's go ahead and check if everything works. Okay, so we don't know what fields are, so let's just put some placeholder, name, placeholder, email, and another placeholder for the phone. Perfect. So let me just send my name first, because I already put default params, and let's hit the trigger, see if it's sending me email and sending an SMS to my mobile phone. Okay, we got a success from here. So I did a few mistakes with the SMS provider. Just go ahead to the SMS provider here and on Twilio, right here. Sorry. And instead of using the API key, use the auth token. I just copy the secondary token that I created, and you also need to add here the from. So let me just use the same phone number that I'm sending. Let's just add over here. Go to phone number, click on manage, click on active numbers. Copy the phone number that we are sending from. So let's just open this here and copy this thing. Just put it from here. Delete the spaces. And just save it. Let's run it again. Click on trigger. So as you can see, since it's a trial, so I got here the how are you, and also let's go over to my email over here. You can see also how are you from SendGrid. So that's it. Look how simple it was. So all we need to do now is just to add the params that we added. So we have here rec.query.name, and we have the body, let's keep it as it is. The email is rec.query.email, and for the phone number That's it.